good evening and heartiest congratulations to Business World team for launching this magazine and a great show together. And wonderful to see great stalwarts of the security industry in the room. It's really a privilege that I'm also getting opportunity to speak here. Can I have my slides, please? Yeah, thank you. So I'm supposed to be covering on risk assessment and technology, but I must say that risk assessment and technology or anything that we do, it always has to stay relevant. And what is happening of late, within the security industry, the relevancy has gone down. I'll go through my session and maybe try to highlight that as well. But when I say relevant, because whenever even you want to do a risk assessment, the type of industry, type of environment, type of competition, everything else will dictate how you're supposed to do it. But a lot of us have started getting into a template mode, and that doesn't help. But before we go to that situation, it's very important to understand how businesses are run. We're going to focus on business risk today. There are a lot of type of different risks, but business risk today. But it's important to understand the human evolution. That's where the risk and the complete scenario will emerge. So if you look at the human race, and even today, forget about looking at the history, are we the strongest? No. Are we the fastest? No. There are a lot of things which the other species have it. There were dinosaurs. Look at the size. But we have kept ourselves not only relevant, survived, but we have really clutched the earth in our hand. We have gone so superior that not only we have tamed the other species, we try to tame environment. Artificial rains, response to tsunamis and whatnot. The way we are really as humans going on, we've really been making a big difference in every step that we have taken is only to show how superior we are, whether to other species or to sometime environment, which I treat close to God. So that's where we're really competing with God. And our businesses are also evolving at the same speed. But right now, we are at a very, very important threshold. Because while our innovations were always there, whether they were in form of weapons and satellites and everything else, the reach outs, the superiority, but now we are at a very, very unique juncture. And I will call that unique juncture, this transformation, that first time we have started innovating, inventing, when things are superior than us. Artificial intelligence. Even when you are logging in, there's a computer asking you, please prove you're a human, by checking all the cycles and the cars and whatnot. This is a very big threshold. The human race, how we think, how we live, how the risks are there, is going to change from now onwards, because this transformation, first time in history, we are creating something which is superior than us. We are creating something which is going to possibly, I don't know or not, but tame us. That's a big transformation you all are going through. So what we thought, we will control and always be superior, now we have started creating things which are controlling us as well. And I'm very sure you all security professionals and risk professionals are aware that this is not limited to businesses, this is limited to mind. No, this is unlimited. This goes in every direction. How you will vote is one psychological aspect. Whom will you select as your next leader is another. Which type of Maggie to buy? What type of cold drink to drink? You are being bombarded with everything. And most of the time, this information is so much and coming at that speed that you do not have time to think what is factually correct and what is not. So that is also a major part, and which is going to impact us within the security world as well. And something important which I always say is that our lives are becoming too digital. You don't even now step out to movie theaters because you have OTT. Every kind of material that you want, from movies to serial to everything, is when you want. You want to pause, you want to slow it down, you want to skip a channel, you want to skip a song, you don't want to watch it. And what is all this doing? This is creating too much of data centers. So businesses are moving in that direction. Earlier, there was a charm of going out for food. Now food comes to your home. Zomato, Swiggy's. You will not visit a bank. Most probably, most of you will not be able to identify who's my banking manager. Right? A lot of people in the room come from my age when that was a great relationship to have. And now, I don't think you'll be able to identify who's your banking. So your lives are tremendously moving digital. And that digital life is going to give you a new set of challenges. And it's very natural for all us humans. We start first doing things, then we see what can go wrong, and then we start finding solutions. So right now what's happening, like I said, the big transformation, this big change, things are happening. What can go wrong is still being discovered. And how will you really do mitigation is still far away. And that's where possibly we have a collective responsibility to do. And whenever we are talking about change, there are huge things always mentioned about it, but I would like to put some key points which are changing today. The first point is the speed of information. The speed it comes back at, there is another person who's expecting your decision instantly so that the same speed of information in the decision is relayed back and some other people are also able to decide upon it. Because we are almost expected to be as wired as a computer, having as much information as computer. And a lot of time, the emotional and the other values going down, but the speed has become more important. Even as a risk professional, security professional, the expectation from you to take a decision is going to be almost instant. Some of the speakers very correctly brought out, we need information, we need customization. All that is going to be shaping up well, but who's going to shape it for you is going to be again technology. Another important thing which is emerging, and that is going to change not only the security world, but law enforcement world as well. Because if you are living in the virtual world, most of your aspects, things, entertainment, food is in the virtual world, then there is no boundary within the virtual world. I can do a fraud on you from Nigeria. I can hack your bank account from Vietnam. And I can also show it that I'm actually sitting in Germany and doing it for you. So, the world we are moving into, world we are transitioning into is so much digital, and digital world has no boundaries. So if you're going to do a risk assessment of India for cyber world, you've done a complete job. Because you don't know what is capability of Ghana, what is capability of China, how Pakistan is going to play it. So even all these aspects are going to touch the wider world of risk assessment and security. So these things which are happening, unfortunately, like I said, we have got so much templatized that some of these aspects are not being thought about. And these aspects not only will hit your personal lives or companies, these aspects are going to hit countries. That's where the world is all about right now. That's where the warfare is all about. Because this world has got capability to psych you up, psych you down. This has world which has got cryptocurrencies engaged in it. So very soon, this is the world which will be ruling. And if you're not there, if you don't know what it is, if you don't know how to tame it, that's a disadvantage you're going to live. Another thing which is happening is, and I'm sure you all have noticed, technology's shelf life has reduced tremendously. Earlier, the new technology used to come in, it will have a survival period of sometimes decades. Television coming in, great. Color television, few decades. Then color television with the tube, few decades. Now, almost every 2 years, if a new technology of color television is not coming in, countries like Japan, there is no color television which will be sold. So they came with HD, then 4K, then 10K. They're making things so fine, brighter things, and they make it psychologically look so bad for you that if you don't have the latest one, almost you're not surviving, or you're from an ancient age. So that's where I was giving example of television, but same thing is happening for the analytics, same thing is happening for even behavior analytics using AI. Same thing is happening within the CCTV world. So the technology shelf life is really reduced, and in this virtual world and everything that is moving so fast is going to be tremendously impacting all of us, how we assess the risk and how we use the technology. From here, maybe, I don't, rather than being too much of a monologue, let me give you a task of spotting the differences. But I don't want you to spot differences here. I want you to spot differences in the impact you're having in your security lives or risk management lives already. What are the major changes you're looking at? Do we have a spare mic that we can also make audience speak about it? I'm sure everybody is a great professional in the room. Anything you want to comment that maybe 3 years back I was thinking this, but it's not relevant anymore. Or 10 years back I was doing this, but things have changed so much that it's becoming difficult to even have the same thought process. I welcome anybody who wants to comment on it. Yeah, please. Just share your name and then your comments.
Hi, I'm Anurudh Kumar Tiwari, and I work for United Nations Development Program. And the difference which I'm seeing in this security safety world, from my experience, is that now, earlier we used to have security professionals, security guards, but now if you want a real security, real safety, you have to include everyone, all the stakeholders. So once my chief was asking that how are you going to secure these 1,000 people in your campus? The only answer is that when everybody participate, then only you can have. So that difference I'm seeing, that now everybody is more aware, more involved towards their own security.
Well, thanks. That's a great point. But see the lessons out of it. If the chiefs are worried about security, the reason being, it's impacting far more than it was impacting 40 years back, 30 years back. Earlier, if you look at even the largest cloth mill, the only problem they'll have possibly is industrial relation, IR. Security was not such a challenge. Supply chains were not such a challenge, but now today they are. And another aspect is because of the security impacting so much, but another aspect is that the way risk and security is now being treated, it's got multiple aspects. The risk is not emerging naturally. There is too much of attack on you posed as a natural risk, whether it's a competition warfare or a lot of things like those. Anybody else? Any additional points? We have Colonel Bhatia at the end. If mic can be given to him. Oh, sir, please. Colonel Bhatia after.
Yeah, it's working now. I'm Colonel Shakti Rana. I'm a veteran, and I worked for Nokia for about 17 years. The difference which I see now is the technology which is coming in. And if you don't keep up with the pace which the technology is coming, like the example which you just gave, that we have those tubed televisions now and then HD, 4K and all that. So the same impact is happening in our field also. And if we don't exploit the technology which we have at hand now, we would be missing the train. And the mindset has to change. I think that AI and the technology is the turning point now.
No, sure, sir. Thank you so much. And I can vouch, Colonel Rana always has been one of the very dynamic leaders who have moved with far more speed than even his organization. That much I can vouch. But thanks for those comments. We'll have just comments from Colonel Bhatia and then we'll maybe progress.
Hello. So I'll just add to this only that now a security guard has to be a tech savvy, a guard who is standing especially at reception, right, or anywhere in fact. Nowadays, because of the integrated security being there in all premises, any organization where these guards are deployed, gone are the days that they can manage a premises with that danda or something like that. They have to be tech savvy because even they are being monitored by the guard security management softwares. This is a very big change which is happening. So any individual who's coming, whether it will be Agniveer who will be taking the transition towards corporate, he has to be tech savvy. Sir. Secondly, sir, I am as my name was there, I am from Hatfield. Investigation is also taking a big change because security professionals also have to
Sir, restrict to my session, risk assessment. Don't go outside. Then
Sir,
thank you so much.
So this is related to risk assessment only, sir. Why? Because once you are carrying out any, investigating any incident, sir, even investigators also have to be a little more tech savvy.
No, that's great. Thank you so much. So yes, very, very relevant points again, sir. But maybe even at the fool-asking of mine to speak in a room where I see more physical security professionals and less overall risk managers, I'm still saying that one of the biggest impact that we're having, and that's the spotting of difference we all need to do. Physical security every next day is becoming easy to identify, easy to mitigate. That means your brain is going to become irrelevant because technology is going to take over. Who was attacked on cyber? Who was attacked on my reputation? Who was attacked on my supply chain? Is extremely difficult to identify and is impacting more than physical security. You will find your business leaders are going to regularly talk in that language, and that is something which we all need to upgrade ourselves as risk professionals. As service providers, you need to plug that gaps. If you don't do it, somebody else will. And considering today's Business World session, I thought I should also be creative. So we all have heard of the codec movement. If you don't mutate and evolve, obviously codec movement, that codec doesn't exist in the shape it was, being one time the largest company. And I would like to compare us security professionals from the ancient time of the largest, strongest beast we had. We will reach a dinosaur movement. If as professionals we are not ready to understand the risk in technology right now, we will have our own dinosaur movement very, very soon. And believe me, I say this with concern, and I made that statement earlier also, some of us are missing this. And we are a collective industry, and like I said, if you don't do it, somebody else is going to do it. It's a need. It's not going to happen that if you're not going to fulfill it, nobody's going to do it. There are no people who are waiting for the opportunity. You guys have been the leader till now because the risks were under your domain. Now risks are evolving. If your services are not, you will hand over better to somebody else. So our dinosaur movement is not far away, but as professionals, we must go to the next stage, and that's why. Also, when I need to talk about the security technology, I just thought at least showing one data, which is linked to the commercial security systems, and look at where the world is. Look at how many billions of dollars are going to get added every year. And this is data which is official in nature, and this is data which is only talking about commercial security systems. If I see security the way I see it, right from the country's security, whether you need missiles and the aircrafts, or even if you need CCTVs at homeland, if you really combine all that, this becomes few trillions. So that's the industry we are part of. And if you look at the total size of other traditional industries, it's not of this growth size at all. And we are one geography when we definitely talk about we are among the world's largest, but please be sensitive to the fact that where are you in terms of per capita GDP? The expenditure on things like security is not done from the total bucket, it's from the per capita GDP point of view, where we are more than 100. So when we say that now we have in top 5s and top 4s purchase power parity index, that doesn't become we become a rich nation. It's just that the sheer volume we have, 1.4 billion. If everybody is making $100, you become the highest. But others are making $10,000. So how much they can spend on security, you can imagine, and most of this money is actually there, not in India. So that's my message on overall risk assessment and the security technology, the way it's shaping. My humble appeal that let's mutate, let's evolve, and let's not get our dinosaur movement coming soon. If you have any questions, we'll be happy to take. Thank you so much. Do we have time for questions or we?